this is my question then. Like, how many girls is a percentage that would tell me or you, or let's say like the average guy, hey, I don't have sex on the first date. Do you think lying about it and would fuck like an attractive guy at the club on the first date? Because I don't think it's that high of a percentage at all. I'd say it's like 5%.
No, if they're over 30, I think it's a high percent of them that wouldn't fuck on the first date because they're trying to procure resources. But Marcus,
but this is different. These are girls looking for a relationship. So that's like, so these would be as a description. I agree with this. As a description, these would be the girls that would say, okay, I'm 30. I'm looking for marriage, right? Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. And I've fucked a lot of these girls where they tell me I'm looking for marriage and I'll say, okay, look, I'm not, but we can just have fun sex for one night if you want,
Marcus,
right?
They'll
be like, yeah, sure. And then they'll go on and look for marriage somewhere else.
I think we're getting a bit off topic here.
Oh, sorry.
Let's save this for another debate. Okay, I know we got.
I like chatting with Michael. I'm sorry, boys.
Everyone here.
Let me just say one thing before, Marcus. You've also talked to a woman who's told you before. I know you have. I don't sleep with guys on the first date and slept with you on the first date. I know that's happened to you before. That's happened to me over 50 times.
The reason is not because I'm, let's say, more attractive, even though I am, but I'm saying it's because I deal with those concerns that she has, which some concerns are going to be, I'm looking for marriage, and I'll just be clear and honest with her. All the other concern is I've been hurt before. And then the way I deal with it is like, look, I can have sex anytime I want. Like, this is not a big deal for me. If we're going to have sex, it's because I want to see you again. I'm not going to just have sex and ditch you, right? Yeah. That's not what I'm doing. Yeah. Once the girl believes that and I'm not too pushy with it, she's like, okay, I'm not going to get hurt. Let's go for it. Sure, there might be like some fucking whores out there that are just being like, I don't have sex on the first date, but I think it's like a really small percentage. And like my point with this is that I feel like some of these messages are misconstrued and I don't think they're actively corrected. I think there's a lot of women hate out there that could be sold if more guys would just come out and be like, look, this isn't the case. Okay. You don't have to like go down this whole of thing. Every girl's lying to me. Every girl's just looking for a better guy. I think we can all do a better job of like putting a message out there that women are amazing. Some of them are shit, but most women are amazing. And like, we can co-inhabit and have great relationships, which I know you believe in. I just think there's majority of the red pill space. I'd say like literally 95% that is just spreading an awful message that is like not good for men or women at all.
So I would look up Rollo's his messages on red pill rage, where he talks about, and by the way, this is how he ends his book. He talks about this thing. You're going to learn things that are going to make you upset. And when you do so, at first, you're going to feel like kind of disappointed, and then maybe you're going to feel some anger. But it's important to understand that women and men are better together. Now, here's the thing, Marcus. If you were to go look at that message when I think it's in one of his forum posts, it gets very few views compared to I don't wait for sex. It's just what happens is there's red meat and then there's the vegetables. And what you're talking about is we love women. Women are great. Men and women are better together. Those are the vegetables. A lot of people don't want to consume them. The red meat is the fucking calling women 304s. And I've been the #1 proponent of this and had discussions with Myron and Fresh. By the way, here's the other thing. I go on that show because the discussion is happening there. And I want I've heard a lot of people be like, well, I would never go on their show. And to me, I'm like, I will go on people's shows that I disagree with all the time because of the fact that I want my voice to be in the discussion, regardless of what the discussion is. And so, I think it's healthier for me to be there than it's just Jesus Christ eating with the fucking tax collectors and the prostitutes. I would rather be there around people that I don't fully agree with, because at least the voice gets heard, as opposed to what I hear a lot of other people do. And I'm not saying you guys do this, but a lot of other people do is they'll be like, well, I won't go on that show because I don't agree with everything they say. I specifically go places where I don't agree with what they say.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. And I think that's a really good thing to do. And I think it's good to speak out against them. And that's why I was just curious if Rollo's done that. Because as I said, I haven't like looked at a lot of his content, and I don't know if he does. I get the feeling that he doesn't, based on the way like Myron speaks about him. But if you've got like videos of him being like, yo, what Myron said about this was incorrect, and
but he's not going to chastise Myron. Yeah, we have loyalty towards Myron. Myron is our boy, but Myron deals with things in a way we don't. Also, Myron deals with things in a way that a Muslim man he has a very fundamentalist Sudanese Muslim understanding of like the male and female dynamics that most people in Western society would consider to be misogynistic. Just don't be Myron if you don't want to do that. But I'm not going to sit there and just be like, do I think that like Myron does stuff where he's like rude to women? Is it uncomfortable to me all the fucking time? And we talk about it sometimes. You know who else it's uncomfortable to? Fresh. It's uncomfortable to him too. But that's the thing.
Yeah. So I think like if I'm friends with someone, I'm like loyal to someone, I wouldn't let that loyalty stop me from having those disagreements, right? And stop me from like speaking out about it. So yeah, I mean, if I was Rolo, I'd be encouraging him to do it publicly. And but as you said, like I think a lot of the audience is going to be compelled towards the content that is like fuck women, essentially, right? Maybe not in so many words, but like women deserve lefts, like blah blah. I think a lot of incels, they love that, right? So if you want to be successful in this space, like that's one way to do it, and I feel like that's what they're doing. So it's going to be hard to speak out about, which is probably why he hasn't.
But
Yeah,
you understand, Myron owns 16 houses. Myron makes videos all the time about like the best credit card as far as points to fix your credit score. Myron consistently has federal agents on there to talk about how the federal government works. Myron talks about geopolitics stuff, and none of you guys watch those shows. Then he does after hours, and they make $100,000 a month from super chats. That's just
I'm saying it's a successful business. 100% successful business model is to say like, okay, guys, listen. Women, the reason you don't have success with women, the reason you're not getting validated as a man is not your fault. It's all the women. They're the worst. They're just looking for the next best guy. They're just trying to get with some ex-celebrity.
He blames the men. Yeah, he holds men very accountable for being simps. He calls 99% of men simps. If you want to say his argument is negative, it is, but it's negative for both sides. I would not argue the way that Myron does. And I specifically have told people before.
I'm sure if we asked all the guys on this panel that has ever seen Fresh and Fit, if we think about the proportion of the message of, okay, men, it's your fault compared to women, it's your fault, I think we can all say by far, like the huge emphasis is always on women. Like he might say, guys, you need to get your shit together. But with women, it's more calculated than that. With women, it's there feels like a lot of resentment. Like it feels like he's the guy that got hurt and was like, I don't do one night stands anymore, but the male version, right?
I don't know about that. So, Myron is like swimming in fucking women, dude. He's got like a main and then like 4 that like make his like clean his apartment.
I'm not saying he doesn't have women. I'm saying he has women in a very avoidant sense. Like I'd be very curious to see intimacy with Myron and his girls, because what it feels like is very avoidant, and what it feels like is trying to avoid ever being hurt. If I'm just looking from the outside, that's what it appears like, and it seems like somewhat resentful towards women. Whereas someone like yourself seems like you love women. Like I don't get the message from you that it's like, oh fuck, I'm trying to avoid any intimacy or relationship, and like I'm so scared women are gonna fuck me over. You seem to, even from a friendship point of view, love all women, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know about Rolo, right? Like from the things I've seen, I don't get that message as much. I don't get that pushback as much. So I don't know if it's because, as you said, there's like loyalty there, and obviously they're doing well off this audience. So like you got a captured audience there, but that's all I was curious about. But anyway, sorry, Ice. I know we've been
no, this is a good discussion, and like nobody's been more critical of this than me, because I look at the people in Red Pill almost like cousins and fucking nephews, and I want the best for them, and I'm disappointed when they don't do well. So yeah, like I'm just. The thing is, if you were to talk about the amount of time he has talking about each one of these subjects, it's about equal. But what happens is I have the same issue. I have editors that will take my clips. There's this one YouTube channel. It's called MOA.podcast. And all they do is take the most inflammatory shit that I say and put it up there, and it's killing us. Like, it's not killing us, but like their YouTube channel is growing faster than mine. I talk about aliens and inflation and all kinds of stuff. When I talk about this stuff that has to do with Red Pill, it's like 100x more popular. So in a part, you could say the algorithm rewards some of this type of behavior. Because I promise you, if it was a situation where this wasn't being rewarded, Myron wouldn't make content like this.
Just look at just
that's what I'm saying. Like
it
feels a bit
crazy.
disingenuous. Oh, sorry, Ice, go for it.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing. I'm making content on 10 things that I think are true. Then the editors go and make clips on those 10 things that they think are true, but 7 and 8 do 100x more volume than the other 8. What happens is, you know me for 7 and 8, not 1 through 6 and then 8, 9, and 10.
I don't mind if 7 and 8 messages within dating that are like what I would consider.
But they won't go viral. But they won't go viral.
That's fine. That's fine. Like that's fine. If you're sitting back as a person, I'm not saying you, but if you're sitting back as a person and you're like, look, I've done content of 10 things, and I notice when I like hate on women a little bit, and the guys fucking love it, and now I've got like this podcast called Fresh and Fit, And yeah, maybe it started as like we're going to do like 10 subjects, but what I find is when I just hate on women, fuck, every incel in the wall is jerking off after this, sending me super chats like blah blah, then yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. That's fine, right? You can say that, but from my point of view, I'd rather just have the right message going out that help men. I don't think it's good telling men that, you know, sending these like essentially like women hating resentful messages. And like for me personally, I'm like, even right now, I'm going to be someone that like has some pushback here. Is saying like, no, these stats aren't right. This idea that women are just looking for the next guy and are going to cheat on everyone and don't give up, it's not true. Like in everyday life, we all know we've probably all got amazing relationships with women where we're not worried she's going to like go fuck the next, you know, bartender or some shit. I'm the last person I'm worried about is a bartender, just quietly. But yeah, I get it. Like if you want to make money off what I would consider a false message, whether you believe it's false or not, I'm always going to push back against that.
Yeah, I don't think it's false. I think the words he uses are extreme. And I think what he does is he exacerbates a certain part of the message that he talks about more than other parts, but also that part of the message goes viral. As far as him internally, I mean, I love hanging out with Myron. He's great. He takes us to dinner every fucking night we go out there. He's the most magnanimous person, but that's how he is off camera. On camera, you know, he's making content for his clients. And you're saying that's disingenuous. I can see how that's a conflict of interest. I do see other people trying to do the same thing. A lot of other people trying to do the same thing. And you could also talk about all the people's careers he's launched from being on that show. But like, when you understand the dude was a federal officer, owns 16 houses and all the other things he talks about, he literally does a show on serial killers. That's phenomenal. It's called Fed It. It's terrific. But people just don't watch it. People just don't watch it. I went on a show the other day and we talked about the Trump indictment. And it's just like 1/5 of views.